What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Life's a Garden. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and a wonderful holiday weekend. Hope you spent time with your family and your friends, ate a lot of really good food. And today's positive motivational message is pretty obvious. Be thankful. Think about all the great things in your life, all the positive things that you have. Your family, your friends, your health, the fact that you have a roof over your head, the fact that that you're alive, just as simple as that. Think of all the good things, and really think about them too. Don't just, there's a lot of pretty obvious things I think that we're thankful for. Think about the little things too. Just think about all those little things in your life that make life better and make life joyful. Be thankful. Recognize those things. And if it's a person, let them know. Let them know that you're thankful for them. It'll make their day, and it's important to let people know. So, pretty straightforward message this week. Sorry about being a week late. I'll get into all of that here in a moment. But first, let's go ahead and get into today's episode. It's episode 228 of Life's a Garden. Thank you all for joining me yet again on another fantastic episode of Life's a Garden. If you have not yet, please do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, follow on all platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Share that stuff. Get it out to your friends. Let a friend know. Help build this garden. And it's very much appreciated. I'm thankful. I am thankful to you both for tuning in and listening to the podcast, and I'm thankful for you for spreading the word, getting the word out there, and bringing people along for the ride. It is Thanksgiving week. I apologize for skipping last week's episode. I was on my trip to Vegas, and I had planned to do a podcast before the trip. I was going to have it already ready to go and posted on Monday. But this is what happens when you book a guest and they cancel on you. This is why I have not done as many guest episodes this year. It's pretty straightforward. Had a guest scheduled for Thursday before I left on Friday. And understand, to their credit, I'm not going to throw them under the bus necessarily. Maybe a little bit. It was their birthday the day before. They went out, they had fun. They were not feeling very well that next day. And they even kind of told me that might happen. So fair enough. Glad they had a good time. Just didn't work out to do the podcast. And I had already had everything set up, ready to go. They canceled on it. And I wasn't going to break everything down, set it all back up, and do a solo podcast. So I just said, fuck it. Because sometimes you just got to say fuck it. And it's okay. It's okay to just not do the podcast for a week. I think we'll all be okay. But here we are again. We're back doing the damn thing. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Went to my mom's house. No, I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I'm recording this before Thanksgiving. So I don't know exactly how Thanksgiving went. I would just lie to you and pretend like this was being recorded after Thanksgiving. But I don't know if it went great or not. And knowing my family, it could go 100 different ways. It could be great. It could be fine. It could be unspeakable. So we'll find out, but I'm going to go ahead and lean on the side of it was good. We had a good time. We are going to my mom's house for Thanksgiving, which will be fun. Her house is a little small, so that we're going to be cozy, you know? We're going to be in close quarters. We're going to get real close with the family. I myself am not really making anything. I'm going to make like this sweet potato, they're called sweet potato bites. So they're going to be like chopped up sweet potatoes just in like rounds. You cook them up, then you melt the marshmallow on there, and then you top it with a pecan. I'm not a big sweet potato guy. There's a few people that want sweet potatoes on Thanksgiving, so I was like, you know what? I'll make the sweet potatoes, even though I probably won't even eat them. I might have a couple, but I probably won't eat a whole lot of them. So that's my contribution. I'm making that. I'm bringing rolls. Ooh, I gotta call my brother and make sure he's getting the pie, because that's the most important thing, is the pie. I'll call him after this, because if not, I'm gonna go get the pie. So yeah. Other than that, we got a pretty decent crew coming. It should be at minimum 7, at most 10. So that'll be interesting depending on how many people show up. But it'll be good. I love Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorites. You know, it's not about the food. We eat food every day. It's not about having the day off or the football, or it's just about being with family. It's about being with your family and an excuse to get together and just be together. And I'm thankful for that. I am thankful to have family here in town, close to me, family that I see almost on a daily basis, talk to on a daily basis. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to have them close to me and to be close with family. So that is something I am definitely thankful for. Let's see, what else? What's your guys' favorite Thanksgiving meal? Like, what's your favorite dish at Thanksgiving? I think the turkey can be a little overrated, as far as the turkey's the star, right? You're either a ham or a turkey family. If you're a ham family on Thanksgiving, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not the craziest turkey fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, turkey is definitely not the best meat. But it's Turkey Day. If you're not having turkey on Turkey Day, what are you doing? You don't even have to like it. But you got to commit to the bit. Choke that shit down. Hell, buy a turkey and don't even eat it. If you're going to have ham, listen, if you're going to have ham on Thanksgiving, that's fine. But you also have to have a turkey. If you're just completely skipping out on the turkey on Thanksgiving, that's wholeheartedly un-American. Like, the Pilgrims didn't kill all the Indians for you to not eat turkey on Thanksgiving. We didn't conquer the land and pillage and smallpox blankets and do all that. The Pilgrims didn't do all that just so you couldn't enjoy your turkey on Thanksgiving. Selfish. Drinking PBR today because sometimes you just gotta drink whatever's in the fridge. And I'll tell you what, I'm thankful for that too. That should be PBR's ad campaign. That should be their new campaign slogan, is PBR. Because sometimes you just gotta drink what's in the fridge. Sometimes that's all you got. PBR. Because sometimes that's all you got. Ooh, and this does not taste great. It ain't no Coors Light. That's for sure. Why does that taste so weird? My God. Tastes weird. Okay. Anyway. I also want to mention before I forget, I was on another podcast here in town. So, Morning with the Boys, good friend of mine, Curtis Bear, who has been on the show before. You can go look up his episode. It was a while back, but Curtis was on the show. I think it was a couple years ago. He's got a podcast now with his buddy. Podcast is called Morning with the Boys. And I think they just do a regular podcast with just the two of them. but then they're also doing like side segment type things. And the one that I was featured on, it's a Wing Wednesday feature where we went and did a wing taste test, which is great because we're no stranger to taste tests around here on the podcast. We've done, we've done plenty of taste tests here on the show. So that's cool to have that. Or that I got to do that. I want to thank them. I'm thankful to them, and I want to thank them for having me on the show. I watched a little bit of it earlier. It's weird watching yourself because you already were there. You did it. You know what you said. I just like to see how the editing kind of works because they do theirs a little differently. They edit theirs and they have like nice transitions and things like that. But we went out to the Vig and did the wings out there. Gotta admit, dude, some of the best dry rub wings I've ever had. I have never been a fan of dry rubs. They have 2 awesome dry rubs out there. And on top of that, some really, really, really good wings. Like, I know I only did the one taste test, so I can't, like, compare with the other ones that they did. But based on the wings that I've had here in Billings, I would put them in my top 3. That's saying a lot. I'm a wing guy. I know my way around a chicken. So, yeah, we went and had the Vig wings. Like I said, I will put them in the top 3. Good size wings, perfect breading, crispy, flavorful, a lot of chicken. Yeah, so go check that out on the Morning with the Boys podcast. Do me a favor, subscribe to them. They gave me a shout out. So they're trying to get people to come over here. I'm trying to get you guys to go check them out. And at least go watch my episode, right? Help boost the numbers on that. It was a fun time. Morning with the Boys, I think it ends in a Z. Just look up and it's morning like bacon, I guess. It's like with the an apostrophe, Morning with the Boys. Just look up Morning with the Boys, Wing Wednesday, and you'll find it. I'm the latest episode on there, and fun time. It was a good time. Appreciate them for having me out, and shout out to the Vig for letting them record in there and do all that. I'm curious what the next one this week is, so I'll have to message them and find out because I am curious. But yeah, just wanted to mention that. Thankful to those boys. Thankful to just thankful to have another podcast here in town, to be honest. It's always nice not being the only one. You know what I'm saying? There's been a few that have came and gone, but none of them. Like, I wholeheartedly accept the mantle of Billings Podfather. I am the pod god here in Billings, Montana, because nobody does it. Like I said, there's been a few that have came and gone that just maybe lasted a couple of episodes. I like to know that there's others out there. I would love to have a community of podcasters. It's never happened, but your boy keeps running strong. I don't change nothing. I keep it going. How you doing? Keep it moving. Let's have some more of this nasty-ass beer. Still so thankful for it, though. Now, let's go ahead and just, why don't we address the Wookiee in the room. I'm dressed like a Wookiee. Why? Why am I wearing a Wookiee onesie? The Wookiee onesie. Well, first of all, it's been getting cold out there. So the Wookiee onesie is pretty damn important at this point. We got our first snowfall, came back from Vegas to snow on the ground. So of course I'm going to wear my Wookiee onesie. It's damn cold. And this thing is comfortable as all get out. I love this thing. First time I've worn it. And it's very, very cozy. But that's not why. It's a good reason to be wearing it. But that's not why. I was trying to think of a joke and it didn't land. All right, it never manifested itself in my head. No, okay. The real reason I am wearing the onesie is because my friend Pow, friend of the show, been on the show many times. Pow, his friend, my friend Theo, Eric, I think Joel, all their wives. Every year, they all get together at some time in December. It's a weekend in December usually. I think they said it's usually the first weekend in December, second weekend in December, something like that. They always get together and they do a thing called Life Day. And I don't know, I actually don't know if Life Day is a real thing, if it's an actual holiday or if it's just something that they came up with or they decided, or maybe it's something that you just choose to do on a random day. But what they do is they watch the Star Wars holiday special. They drink beers and turn them into lightsabers. So you get like a Budweiser, you drink a bunch of Budweisers and make a red lightsaber. You get a bunch of Bud Lights and make a blue lightsaber. Things like that. Pretty fun. Pretty unique. That's a fun little thing. But they play games. I don't know what all the little things that go into it. And another thing they do is wear Wookiee onesies. Now, I'm speaking about this without knowing because this will be my first year attending Life Day. I was invited to do Life Day. I'm very excited for that. Thankful to have been invited and thankful to have friends who invite me to shit. And friends that I can have a good time with and enjoy a nice night in for once. It'd be nice to have a nice night in rather than fucking going out all the time. But yes, that is why I'm wearing a Wookiee onesie, is because of Life Day. And I figured, hey, I got the damn thing. Why not wear it on the podcast? Lookiee! I'm a Wookiee! And I thought it'd be even funnier if I just didn't address it for the first 15 minutes of this podcast. Double chunk chocolate Wookiee! Still agree. Fuck those guys. But Lookiee, I'm a Wookiee. Fucking Robert De Niro was. I'm a Wookiee. Hey, look at me. I'm a Wookiee. Lookie, I'm a Wookiee. Oh my god. All right, let's break down the Vegas trip, because that's the big thing, right? That's the thing I got the most to talk about. The reason I didn't get you the podcast last week, it's because of this Vegas trip. And I know you're also very upset with me, but all is forgiven, right? I'm thankful for you to be upset because that means you care. If you're upset, it means you care. And I'm thankful for you being upset. So, okay, let's just run through the Vegas trip, right? Let's just kind of go from right away. Headed out about 11 o'clock in the a.m. to Vegas. It's about a 2-hour plane ride. The plane ride was fine. Like, you know what I've noticed? Because I've traveled by plane several times this year. I think 6 to be exact. In this calendar year alone. 6 times I have flown on a plane. And when you're flying by yourself, you really tend to notice all the really annoying things, all the talkers, all the this, all of that, even though I'm usually wearing headphones. So I should be tuning out most of that stuff. But there's more distractions when you're by yourself. It's easier to be distracted. When you're with somebody, when you're traveling with somebody, you're conversating. You're like you're having somebody that you're talking with, and they're your distraction. You're not being distracted by everybody else. However, on the flight there was a guy directly behind us that would not shut up about how he was a cow farmer. Like, literally, I swear to God, every fifth word out of this man's mouth was cow. I swear there was a point when he said, yeah, I had a kid come on to be a cow farmer with me. He'd never been a cow farmer before, but I told him, hey, if you never worked with cows, these cows will get you. I mean, you got to be prepared for some cows to come at you. Or, you know what I mean? Like, just cow, 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 cow. Hey, did you see the cow over in the cow? Golly. I wanted to turn around and be like, hey, dude, shut up about cows. The way he was talking, and I'm talking about 2 straight hours on this flight. Also, by the way, if you're having a conversation on a plane, inside voice. This guy's talking like he's telling the story to the fucking pilot from row 24. Anyway, so I wanted to, talking for 2 hours about cows, I wanted to turn around and be like, you must be just the most boring person ever. This is all you have to talk about? What the fuck? Anyway, other than that, great time. Or easy flight, no, pretty smooth flying. Got in. We went and the first thing we did, we stayed at the Excalibur, which never been there before. I've been to the Dick's Last Resort there, but I don't think I ever. Well, no, Max said that we did walk around. I just don't remember. But this was the first time I really got to be in there. Fine, perfectly fine hotel. I had nothing. It's actually way bigger than I thought it was. I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. But we get there, we're starving. We haven't eaten all day. It would have been about 1 o'clock Billings time. So hadn't eaten since we woke up. We go hit up the buffet. Now let me tell you something about buffets. Okay? This is just in general. Nothing against hotel buffets or Vegas buffets. This is just every buffet that there is. Food sucks. The food is bad. And of course it is. You got Chinese food, Italian food, Mexican food, American food. You got breakfast. You got salads. You got seafood. You name it. You got every kind of food out here. Like, you got a kitchen of, I don't care if it's a kitchen of 20 people. You're making all these different types of foods. And you got to keep it stocked. It's sitting out there for God knows how long. And of course, when you're looking at a buffet, it all looks good. So I'm grabbing a slice of pizza with a side of orange chicken and a few shrimp. And why not? Let's throw some fried rice. Let's throw in a little bit of spaghetti. You know what I mean? Like, you're just grabbing a little bit of everything from every fucking corner of the earth. And does any of it have flavor? No. And on top of that, when you go to a buffet, especially when you're spending $45 for a buffet, because Vegas, when you're spending $45 for a buffet, you want more than one plate. So I'm filling my gut. This is the first thing we're doing in Vegas. Filling my gut with just the absolute worst kind of food. Every type of food imaginable and like the worst of it. So I even realized when I was done eating, I was like, bro, this is going to end poorly at some point. I don't know if it's going to be today. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. But I'm shitting my guts out at some point on this trip. That's what we call foreshadowing. Anyway, we take our shit up to the hotel room, relax for a minute, And then what did we do on night 1? I don't remember now. Like where we started. I think, we went over to the New York. We kind of bounced around there because that's where we wanted to stay. We wanted to stay at New York. But the price was, a couple months ago, I think it was like $160 a night, which I think was about what we spent for the Excalibur. Actually, I think we spent like $130 for the Excalibur. But the price the weekend we bought the ticket or bought the hotels, they were like $250. I was like, what the hell? Why did they jump up so high? So we wanted to stay at the New York. We realized later the reason the prices went up so bad, F1 was in town. No idea. We were in town for the football game. That's the whole reason we went to Vegas, was for the Broncos Raiders game. Little did we know F1 was going to be there. Great surprise. Like, honestly, it was cool to be there for that. We obviously didn't see it. The cheapest ticket to those was like $2,000. No thanks. To watch a car go, beow, beow, beow. I'm good. So, where was that? Oh, we went to the New York. We're kind of drinking, we're bar hopping, just checking shit out. And then we were planning on doing Topgolf on Saturday. But Mac was like, well, why don't we just head over there now? Like, what else do we got to lose? We can do, hell, if at worst case, we can do Topgolf today and we can do Topgolf tomorrow. I'm like, now that's an idea. So we start walking to the Topgolf. It's connected to the MGM. Never been to the MGM Grand before. My first time. Very nice hotel. We're walking through, going to the MGM. And, just following because there, like I think I just mentioned, there's a Topgolf connected to the MGM. We're making our way through. We end up walking by. There's like this cowboy bar right there. They had live music going on in there. And I was like, we both like kind of were looking at each other like, that's a pretty cool looking place. Right on. We end up going to Topgolf. I'm trying to keep track of my story. Sorry. If I pause and I think, it's just because I'm trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything. So we had some tall boys, right? We had a couple tall boys that we grabbed at the MGM and we're walking. And we end up making it to the Topgolf. There's a security guard there. And we look at him, we're like, hey, are we okay to take these in there, or do we need to finish them here? Because in Vegas, you can walk around outside with open container. You can go from bar to bar with different beers. Like, there's no real rules like that in Vegas. So, but because it's a Topgolf, it's an entertainment establishment type of thing. I'm like, okay, let me double check. Can we take these in? This guy comes over. He's like, yeah, you guys got to finish them here. Unfortunately, like, can't let you in there with that, but feel free to sit out here and finish them up. Okay, right on. Appreciate it. So the guy comes over. Just real nice security guard comes over, starts chatting with us. He's, where are you guys from? Are you here for the races? Just little small talk. We start making small talk as we're sipping our beers. Turns out, this security guard still is an actor, a musician, lives in Vegas. His name is Joey Ciccone, super Chicago Italian guy. He was in Casino. He was in Heat. He told us he just finished up filming a movie with Seth Rogen that's supposed to come out on Apple TV. And first thing that comes to my mind, right? Probably the same thing that's coming to your mind. Well, what the hell are you doing being a security guard? He tells us his wife had just passed away a couple years ago. He needed to make a little extra cash because being an actor and being a musician is a little bit inconsistent when it comes to money. So he needed something to, A, keep his mind off of being in the house by himself, and also to make a little extra cash so he could keep his house. Look him up. Joey Ciccone, Ciccone. Look him up. Google Images. He was a kind of like a big band type singer, musician, plays guitar, trumpet, all that shit. Toured with Miles Davis for like 15 years. Miles Davis discovered this guy. Like, he sings like Frank Sinatra style music, you know? I heard him sing, heard a couple of his songs. This guy was legit. And we met him outside of Topgolf. Nicest guy on the planet. And we exchanged information. We were like, hey, let's get together. Let's have a drink later. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll have a drink with you here. Awesome. We walk into Topgolf. The guy goes over to he walks us into the Topgolf. He goes over to the desk. He goes, hey, do me a favor. Take care of these guys, will you? So Italian. Love it. Now, the Topgolf in Vegas has three, most Topgolfs have 3 levels. The one in Vegas has 4. The one on the top floor, I don't know if it's VIP only. I don't know if it costs more to be up there. There's pools up there. It's all like nice couches. Beautiful. They put us on the 4th floor because Joey comes over and says, do me a favor. Take care of these guys, will you? My God. This is Vegas. Now we're in Vegas. So we go up there. We're playing golf. It was the cool thing was the F1 races went right by the Topgolf. So as we're playing, and we're on the 4th floor, so we can see the track. They're doing qualifying laps on Friday night. So we're seeing them and hearing them, super cool. Apparently the whole F1 thing was a huge inconvenience to the locals because of you had to detour traffic. They blocked off half the strip because they wanted to have the races going through the strip. And it takes so long to set everything up. And so it's months of preparation and then about a month of tearing it down. So that's 3 months of inconvenience to all the locals. Apparently it does no business for any of the hotels except for like the Venetian and the Wynn, all these like top flight casinos and resorts. But, it doesn't do anything else for the rest of them. And in fact, blocks a lot of the traffic for a lot of those hotels. That's what we were told by many, many locals. But we played our round of Topgolf. We get done. I look at Mac and I'm like, hey, guess what, dude? The Nuggets are getting ready to play. Should we go back to that cool cowboy bar and watch the Nuggets game? All right. So we head on back. Right when we walk in, I'm wearing my Nuggets hoodie. We're both wearing Broncos hats. We're looking around for a place to sit. Guy comes up to us. He's like, fellas, you guys in town for the game? Like, yeah. Well, you came to the right place. This is a Bronco, Avalanche, and Nugget bar. We got the Denver Nuggets right there on the big screen. I'm the general manager. I'm from Colorado. Let me find you guys a seat. Walks us over, sits us right by the big screen. I mean, first class service in Vegas. First class service. Nuggets end up losing the game. Great game. We were down by 20 at halftime. Came back and lost by 3. We were up by 5. Didn't pull it off. That was a real bummer. But anyway, so we're getting ready to... Check this out. We're getting ready to leave. As we're leaving, 2 people walk in that me and Mac used to work with at Olive Garden. They were in town for the game as well. We knew that because we actually did see them on the flight when we were coming into Vegas. So we did see them already. But the fact that of all the casinos, all the bars in all the casinos in Las Vegas, and at that very moment, we're about to leave and they walk in, the odds of that have to be astronomical. So we end up sitting down and have a couple of drinks with these guys. In fact, we had more than a couple drinks. We were getting fucked up because we'd been drinking all day already, and now we're sitting there drinking more. They also, just to keep things crazy, they were staying at the Excalibur too. They're going to the same game, they're on the same flight, going to the same game, staying in the same hotel, and happen to be drinking in the same bar as us on that very moment. What are the odds? For real. Without planning. Without even planning anything with these guys. Odds have to be through the roof. Which, of course, you knew we had to be gambling later. So, me and Mac, we finish off the night at that bar. We head out. I'm going to go ahead and, for the sake of many reasons, I will edit this portion of the podcast. We're just going to cut my story right there and pick up in the morning. Let's just say we left that bar at midnight. I think we got back to the hotel about 2 o'clock in the morning. And so, wake up, hungover as shit. Like, so hungover. And guess what I did? Threw up. Went and threw up. And that's where the buffet stuff comes back. That's where I knew it was going to hit eventually. I mean, the booze didn't help, but the buffet food didn't help either. And so, didn't leave the hotel until like 1 p.m. because we were just sleeping. Mac was actually fine. I was the one that was fucked up. Mac kept telling me, like, hey, let's go do something. Let's go do something. I'm like, dude, if you want me to be at half of anything today, I need to sleep. Like, I need to rest. If you want me to be fun at all, I gotta rest. So we chilled, we relaxed, left about 1 p.m. I wanted to get up early and watch the Cat Grizz game, but by the time we got out of the hotel, it was about halftime, and the damn game was already pretty much over. I knew the Cats were gonna win. They're really good this year. And the Grizz are not that good this year. So we get up finally, we went back to the New York, because there's a sports bar there. I knew we could watch some college football. Had a what's it called? A Bloody Mary. I'm not a big Bloody Mary guy. A Bloody Mary when you're hungover. Mwah! So good. Like, the best. Had one of them. Oh, dude, and also, you know what else is just next level when you're hungover? Besides a greasy burger and a Bloody Mary? Modelo. Modelo with lime? Take my money, bro. That was the most delicious. That might have been the tastiest beer I've ever had because of the moment. I'm eating a greasy burger, hungover as shit, and just that sip of Modelo. Choking on my own spit. Let me choke on some of this just yummy PB. Okay. So, after that, we kind of just walked to the strip, bounced around to a couple of hotels, did some sightseeing, whatever, just looking around. We were going to go back to Topgolf to see Joey again, as we had mentioned. Like I said, we had his contact, which was super cool that he gave that to us. And he said that the Topgolf was super, super busy. Would have been pretty hard to get us in there. He's like, let's just meet up tomorrow after the game. You guys have fun tonight. Whatever. What did we do before we went to Fremont? Did we? Well, I'm drawing a blank now. I think we might have just, oh yeah, we drank a little more. We stopped at another bar, drank a few more, went back to the hotel room, changed, and then went to Fremont. Fremont Street is my favorite thing to do in Las Vegas. It's an absolute party. You got it's cheaper to drink, it's cheaper to gamble. There's street performers all over the place. You got 3 stages of free music. It's just the top tits in Vegas. It don't get better than that. We kind of just cruised around around Fremont. We gambled a little bit. Oh, I will mention this. I forgot to say this. I can't remember when we did this. It was on Friday, I want to say. We put I've been saying I was going to do this for the longest time. Put 100 on black on roulette. Because you double your money. It's either you lose it all or you double it. 100 on black. And we did it. Guess what? Came up red. So all that luck, all that like dumb luck of everything happening, like the odds, apparently didn't work out in the gambling side of things. I think overall, the whole trip, I think I gambled maybe, I want to say probably like $150. Yeah. Like maybe $200 at the most. We did not do a whole lot of gambling. Vegas prices are enough. Like drinks, there was nowhere we went that we weren't spending at least $50 to $100 at any given moment. But anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, gambling. Yeah, we're just walking around, we're sightseeing, we're doing all that, listening to some music. End up doing, like, Mac ends up hopping on a Pai Gow table. I know he's told me many times he loves Pai Gow. I don't know how to play Pai Gow. He was like, well, sit down and learn. And I'm like, you know what? You go ahead and play. The Nuggets are playing. They had a back-to-back 2 days in a row. I was like, I'm going to go watch some of the Nuggets game. You go ahead and sit here, play your game. I'll be right over there. I go over, watch some of the game. They destroyed the Lakers, which guess what? No surprises. Lakers fucking suck. Fuck the Lakers. So I'm watching the Lakers, whatever, and I'm just like, you know what? Last time I was in Vegas, which was March, I went with my mom. I played a little bit of blackjack. It was the funnest gambling I'd done. I already know that the table games are funner. They're the most fun. I wasn't going to play a bunch of machines. We played a couple machines, but not like I did last time. So I was like, you know what? I need to play some blackjack. So I walk over. There's nobody sitting at this table. $15 per hand table, which is cheap for Vegas. You can find like $5 hands, but those are always taken up. So I'm like, I'll sit here. I'll put $100 down, play $15 a hand. I play a couple hands, and then these 3 dudes come and sit down. And this is, by the way, the table right next to where Mac is playing, which is perfect. These 3 dudes sit down, super cool guys, real nice. We're playing blackjack, winning some, losing some, winning more than we're losing. And then eventually I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to up it to $20 a hand. I kid you not. I went on a heater. I probably had that thing up to, I went from $100. I had that thing up to at least $250. Or $260 since we were doing $20. And then slowly but surely, started losing. And finally I was like, you know what? I can't leave without a win. I gotta leave with something. So I cashed out at 120. I won $20 on that table. Fine by me. Tipped him, I had already tipped him out. I was just happy to leave with a win. And it was fun. Didn't win a lot, but didn't lose anything. Had a couple free beers, sat there for probably about 45 minutes. It was great. And then so we go back outside, grabbed a little bit of food, We're walking around. Dude, okay, I don't even know how I didn't mention this. The whole time, the whole trip, Broncos fans everywhere. Now, there's plenty of Raiders fans too. And we definitely got heckled by plenty of Raiders fans while we're walking around with our Broncos shit on. But there's a ton of Broncos fans. And there is nothing better than being the road team, because when you see a fellow fan of the same team on the road, you're best friends. Like, you're like, hey, we're in this together. We're in the lion's den. We are in enemy territory. We need to stick together. I got your back. You got mine. So we're meeting people left and right. We're high-fiving. We're, Broncos, go Broncos, the whole thing. We're hooting and hollering. We're cheering. Like I said, we're getting heckled from time to time. People, Raiders. Which, by the way, stupid. I hate that fucking chant. It just lends itself to like, if you're, because that's their thing, the Raiders, it lends itself immediately to suck, or you can just add anything to that. I was going to say some naughty words, so I censored myself. Anyway, so let's see, where were we at with, okay, so we're out there, we're pretty much getting ready to wind down the night, because I'm looking at Mac. Mac is now the one getting a little tuned up. I was maintaining because I was like, there's zero chance I'm going to feel as shitty as I did this morning tomorrow for the football game. That ain't happening. I want to be ready to go tomorrow. So he's starting to get a little tuned up. So I'm like, you know what? I think it's time we go. I think we need to start rolling out, because I want him to enjoy his time, and I plan on doing the same. But before we leave, we end up running into a Broncos guy. We start chatting. All of a sudden, more Broncos people start gathering around. Now, all of a sudden, we got this group. We're all chatting about the Broncos and the game tomorrow. We're getting hyped up. And it was awesome. It was just cool for that camaraderie. And by the way, I forgot to mention this. The GM at that Bronco bar, we got his contact information too. We were planning on meeting up and having some drinks with him at some point. Same with this group. We got the contacts from this group. We were going to hang out with those guys. None of that ever happened. That was the last we met of any of those guys. Regardless, still a good time. Still cool to meet those guys. I still have all their numbers. And guess who I see on Fremont? Now, I saw him earlier, okay? This was like right when me and Matt got there. We grabbed our beers, we're walking, and I look over, and I'm like, huh. I kind of do a double take, and I nudge Mac, I'm like, dude. Because unmistakable, right? This dude, unmistakable. Guess who I see? The D's Nuts guy. D's Nuts? Ha! Got him! I see this guy. And I'm like, dude, that's the D's Nuts guy. And he's just walking by. And I'm like, that's crazy. That, like, he's just hanging out on Fremont. Probably was taking pictures with people, like trying to make some money. And so later, when we're in that group, getting ready to leave, who comes walking by? The D's Nuts guy. I'm having a conversation with this. Now, here's the thing. I felt really bad for him, actually, in this moment. This was kind of shitty. I'm talking to this guy who actually was a Raiders fan, but we're just talking, having a good time. And all of a sudden he goes, no way. Turn around. There's the D's Nuts guy walking right at us. And he sees us all turn, and he just kind of goes, hello. And then the guy I was talking to immediately whips out his phone and is just like shoving it in his face. And I'm like, bro, like that sucks. And of course the D's Nuts guy is like, he puts up a middle finger. He's like, no, like, I don't do that for free. Which I get. You're internet famous. Like, you can't help that. Might as well make a buck on it. That's why you're on Fremont, is to take pictures with people. So, I just felt bad for the guy that he was having a camera, like, immediately shoved in his face. And, like, you gotta think that happens to him all the time. But it was still fun. It was, like, funny and fun to, like, see him. I wasn't gonna approach him or nothing, but it was funny to see him. In fact, I should have just paid to get a picture with him. That would have been... I didn't even think of that. But it's one of those guys I'm like, I don't really care if I have a picture with him. So anyway, we finished off that night. We go back to the hotel. It's vague. We wake up bright and early, and we are ready to go. We're going down to the Allegiant Stadium. We're gonna tailgate it up with a bunch of Raiders fans. Now, let me say this. So, we get down to the stadium. Just right off the strip. It's in a great location. We ended up Ubering down. Apparently there is a way to walk there, but we just Ubered over there because we got dropped off at a gas station where we could get some beers. We grabbed a case of beer. Now we had to get Modelo because the Coors Light case and can had a Raiders logo on it. And we're like, fuck that. We ain't no bitches like that. We're drinking Modelo today because we ain't drinking no Raider logo beer. That's how devoted we are. So we go out. We're walking around all the tailgates. Obviously, a ton of Raider tailgates. Plenty of Broncos fans around. Again, just high-fiving the Broncos fans, like, what up? Let me say this. Walking around that tailgate, Raiders fans get a really, really bad rap, right? Raiders fans are notorious for being very vulgar and sometimes even violent and being shit talkers. Especially, and that's just in general, but especially to a Broncos fan, to a rival team. I've heard horror stories, for real. Not a single bad experience. Yeah, we got heckled, but it was like in fun. Like, the way we got heckled was all in fun. The amount of Raiders fans that came up to us and were like either playfully teasing us or just completely being nice and like welcome to, like, hey, welcome. Like, I hope you guys have a good time. Or just like, let's have a good game. You know, just honestly, I was shocked. And me and Mac had already discussed, like, we're not going to be rude, obnoxious fans. Like, that is not, we don't go to somebody's house and be rude. Especially in a Raiders place, because you'll get your fucking ass kicked when you're surrounded by Raiders fans. But in all honesty, everybody was so nice. I was stunned. Now, obviously, this isn't Oakland. This isn't the Oakland Raiders anymore. This is the Vegas Raiders. Little bit different story. If it was Oakland, and we were told many times if we would have been in Oakland, it would have been a different experience. And I believe that. But the Vegas experience, everybody was so nice. We end up seeing a blue and orange tent. One and only blue and orange tent. We beelined it over there. We're like, hey, we saw you guys from a mile away. What's going on? They bring us in. They're already like offering us food and drinks, which we had already eaten. So we were just like, nah, man, we're like, appreciate you, but we'll just be drinking the beers and hanging out and having a good time and having a good conversation. All these different Broncos fans are coming around from nobody's part of the same group. We're just hanging out together. It was awesome. It was awesome to have, and then there was Broncos fans that would come by and just like say hello and then leave. We had a couple Raiders fans come by and give us shit and then, you know, be like, have a good day, have a good game, like let's have a good one. That was great. That was awesome. And that was like the biggest surprise of them all, was the fact that the Raiders fans were so cool to us. We go into the stadium, beautiful stadium, top notch, top tier, top of the line. Everything was just spectacular. Shout out to that stadium. We had great seats. Shout out to my cousin for hooking up the great seats. That was great. Surrounded by Broncos fans. We're on the visitor side, so there was a ton of Broncos fans. We had some old school Raiders fans sitting right behind us, like old boys from Oakland. And they were the coolest guys. They were chit-chatting with us, talking about like just old players, new players, the rivalry, just saying, like, just having a nice conversation with these guys. They were great. They were so kind. At one point, I was like jumping up and like I noticed they were still sitting down, and I was like, oh God, I don't want to like get in your way. And the guy even taps me and goes, hey man, you don't got to be worried about us. If you guys jump up, if your team's doing something, you don't got to look out for us. Like, we can stand up if we need to. I was like, all right. I was just like, man, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. And dude, there was a few obnoxious Broncos fans there that were getting a little, I was like, man, you guys are acting a way you shouldn't be acting as a visiting team. And I looked at those guys and I was like, dude, just like, we could be those guys. Like, just be glad we're not those guys. Like, that's obnoxious. Like, why would you do that? I get it. You're a passionate fan. I'm a passionate fan, but you got to have respect when you're on the road. Just as I would hope somebody coming to Denver would be respectful of us and mutual. Every time I go to Denver and I see away teams or away fans, I just say, welcome. Like, enjoy the game. I do the same thing that those Raiders fans did to me because that's what I want when I'm on the road. Broncos end up winning the game. It was a lot closer than I had hoped for, but it was a damn good game. Kept us on our toes. Always a classic rivalry game to be close, even though we should have. I mean, we won by 10? I think we won by 10. We did great. We did a good job, and I was glad to be there for it. Super proud of my Broncos. When this comes out, we'll be playing tonight, Monday night, against the Browns. We have a huge opportunity here to stay in the playoff race and continue our playoff run here, or to continue our run towards the playoffs. The first time we'd make the playoffs in 8 years. So fingers crossed for that. After the game, nobody was being rude to us after the game. We weren't rubbing it in or nothing, but nobody was being super rude to us. We're high-fiving all the Broncos fans again. That was fun. We go to the Luxor. First time I'd ever been to the Luxor. Super cool place. And guess who calls? Joey Ciccone. Old Joey Ciccone calls us up. He's like, hey, man, congrats on the game. What are you guys up to? Well, we just got to the Luxor. So Joey comes over, has a drink. We sit with him for probably about 2 hours. He's telling us all these great stories. And then we wrap it up with him, but it was a perfect way to end a night. We're having this conversation with this really nice dude. He's telling us all of his life stories, some real tragic stories here from time to time. And I think he was just I think he enjoyed, obviously he knew we were good guys. And I think he just wanted somebody to talk to and somebody to hang around with. And I was more than happy to oblige that. And I was more than happy to have his company because he was a great guy. And I got his contact. I'm going to stay in contact with him. He's a nice guy. And a fucking famous guy. Check him out. Seriously, go look up Joey Ciccone. He had a show on YouTube called The Joey Ciccone Show. He's legit. And then finally we were like, you know what? We can't top this day. Let's just go back. Let's go to bed, get up and head out. Because our flight was early in the morning. We're like, dude, we can't top it. Broncos won. It's just perfect. And that's how we did. So that was the whole Vegas trip. And guess what? Few more things I'm thankful for. Because we'll wrap it up with being thankful. Because that's what this whole week is about. Being thankful. I'm thankful to my friend Mac for always being a great friend, for always being somebody I can hang out with and have a great time and give shit to, and he'll give shit back, and just to go on football trips with. I'm thankful for the ability to go on trips, for the financial stability to be able to do things like that. I'm thankful for the Denver Broncos for being so fucking cool and having finally having a winning season and doing so good. So thankful for that. Thankful to the Raiders fans, man. Honestly, never thought I'd say that. Thankful to the Raiders fans for being very welcoming and very kind to us. Thankful to the hospitality of Las Vegas. I'm thankful for the timing to be there on F1. I'm thankful for Joey Ciccone for being a great guy and a great friend and just hanging out with us. Thankful to our friends from Olive Garden for hanging out, and I'm just thankful for good times. I'm thankful for good people, for good times, and I'm thankful for even more to come. I am probably the most thankful I've been in a while, because there was a good couple weeks there where things were kind of gloomy, but this trip really helped bring me out of it, and I am very thankful for all of that. And I hope you guys think about what you're thankful for too, because it is important. It's important to think about all the little things. Like, I never thought I'd be thankful for Raiders fans. Dude, I'm very thankful I'm thankful I didn't get my ass kicked. Thankful I wasn't thrown in a porta potty and tipped over. You know what I mean? Like, those are the little things that we can be thankful for. And so, again, sorry I couldn't tell you Happy Thanksgiving beforehand, but I'll tell you Happy Thanksgiving after the fact. And we are rolling right into the month of December. We're getting close to the end of the year. I'm thankful for all of you for listening. I really do appreciate it. I'd be even more thankful if you subscribed. So go ahead and do that. Recap, make sure you go check out the Morning with the Boys podcast. It was a great time doing the wing taste test with them. At least go check out my episode. And just be thankful. Just remember to be thankful. Because the most important thing is life's a garden. Dig it.
Just gotta